U.S. Office of Personnel Management Data Breach. No Routine Hack by Sam DeLuca. Introduction. The U.S. Office of Personnel Management is the organization tasked with recruiting a world-class workforce to protect the American people's information. In June 2015, this agency was subject to one of the largest data breaches in American history, with the personal information of over 4 million people being targeted and 21.5 million stolen records. Listen describes security and control weaknesses at OPM that are discussed in the case. OPM had many weaknesses that led to the inevitable attack on American data, starting from their information security systems having an incomplete authorization packages, weaknesses in testing information security controls, and inaccurate plans of action and milestones. It is reported that their biggest problem from the breach was not the OPM's failure to prevent break-ins, but the total absence of mechanisms to detect outside intrusions and inadequate encryption of sensitive data. OPM was already an outdated technology, and it was operated under weak management at the time. There was no senior information security officer responsible for network security. The OPM system lacked an effective multi-factor authentication strategy and had poor management of user rights, inadequate monitoring of multiple systems. Sensitive data was unencrypted and stored in old database systems that were vulnerable to attack. What management, organizational, and technological factors contributed to these problems? How much was management responsible? The OPM was completely lacking in leadership and individual accountability. The system is primarily a top-heavy organization in regards to management. Majority of the OPM directors were hired for political purposes and had little to no knowledge of IT systems. Many of the high-level and important positions are underpaid, which forces the organization to resort to low-level or unskilled workers. In the private sector, these positions would have earned up to 3 times more a year than under federal employment. What is the impact of the OPM hack? Well, if you look into the results of the hack, around 4 million people had their personal information compromised. Fingerprints, social security numbers, names, dates, and places of birth, and addresses were exposed. 21.5 million documents were stolen. It revealed information on government employees overseas and may have led to the exposure of undercover agents abroad. Though through the hack, it forced government agencies to act quickly to fortify their security infrastructure. Is there a solution to this problem? Well, since the OPM break-in, there has been massive efforts to increase cybersecurity in government agencies. Protecting our classified and sensitive data from foreign countries is of top priority, and it is unusual to me that it wasn't already an extremely secure server. Through the implementation of better skilled and IT knowledgeable management, and stricter regulations of the servers would allow for a tighter security and less breaches. Discussion question. What immediate changes have been made to the security of information held by government agencies, and should citizens feel that their data is secure? After the breach under the Obama administration, there has been a focus on rectifying years of poor IT management. OPM hired a cybersecurity advisor, and it has increased its IT modernization from $31 million to $87 million. I always believe we as citizens should do everything in our power to protect our information ourselves, but yes, I do believe the government has made efforts to further protect us. Could management possibly have done anything differently to prevent the attack? I believe that it was in majority the system was faulted from the get-go, yet having management which could have tested and monitored the strength of security would have allowed for better protection. In conclusion, the OPM systems were an out-of-date an unsecured network that was inevitably going to be breached. Countries are constantly trying to hack into American agencies to try and gain information against us. The breach was terrible and led to 21.5 million documents being stolen, but since that, it has forced us to fortify our cybersecurity against future attack. Thank you.